Hi, I'm Bruce Kayser, a member of Grace United Methodist Church with another Mission Moment. And today we want to discuss and talk about Paper Pantry. And I'm here with my son and daughter-in-law, Matthew and Jodi. Matthew's the boy, Jodi's the girl, but you probably knew that. Now, tell us a lot about Paper Pantry. You guys were amazing to come up with this. You saw a need, which is fine. We all see needs for the church and for the community. But this one you just pulled out of the air, and evidently a lot of people take advantage of this. So a little bit of the history, if you would.
Well, I wouldn't say it was definitely out of the air. So we actually were approached by First United Methodist, which is also in South Bend, and they had been operating for a while a food pantry. And they had noticed that a lot of the folks that were coming through their food pantry really had a need for a lot of the household products, and those were not things that they typically had.
Right.
So they approached Grace, being First United Methodist, came to us and wanted to just talk about how maybe Grace could help them create this mission for a paper pantry. And the original idea for it was actually that we would have this over at First United Methodist. Well, in really looking at the space that they had available and Grace really wanting to have more of a hands-on mission identified with the church itself, together we decided that it made more sense to actually have the paper pantry here. And so we spent several months kind of really researching what that would look like. We actually had talked to a very small paper pantry that was up in Granger that saw just a very small amount of people, but just wanted to get a sense of how they operated there. And after really a lot of just kind of research and planning and coordinating of volunteers, we officially kicked off the paper pantry back in September of 2012. And so it actually just had itself anniversary here and is 8 years old now, so that's kind of wild to believe. But
Yeah. Wow, time flies. And Jodi, all the stuff that goes into this, you know, people come by and we'll kind of give a little display of what they can pick up at Paper Pantry, but that's a lot of organizing. Product has to be purchased, product has to be brought here, product has to be packaged, and it's going to take more than 2 or 3 people. A lot of volunteers are involved, so you guys undertook quite a lot.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it's just a lot of organization, but I like to organize things. So we would coordinate the purchase of all of the products. The church itself has funded all of the Paper Pantry products. And so we would purchase usually around $1,200 to $1,500 worth of stuff every month. And so what you can see up here is what a standard pack is. And so every family that comes through gets toilet tissue, paper towels, which are real hard to come by these days.
Very hard.
Dish soap, laundry soap, which is also kind of hard to come by, and then bar soap. And then they also get to pick 2 other additional items. We usually have like window cleaner, household cleaner. They can get more toilet paper and deodorants and things like that. Trash bags, yeah.
We all think of a food bank, people and needs like that, but things like this too, that's tough to
Right.
get a hold of this. So this really does
It does.
fill a need.
It does. And the other thing is that you can't purchase these items with food stamps.
Right,
And so
correct.
these things can't, if you're on government assistance, you're not able to buy these very necessary items with that money. And so this definitely filled a gap that we saw in the community.
The numbers, when Paper Pantry started, I don't know exactly what your numbers were, but I know because I'm one of the helpers on many occasions, we've gotten up to 300 plus before.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, which is, that's a lot of folks coming through.
It's a lot of folks, and it takes a lot of volunteers to make that happen. So not only was it Matthew and I like coordinating purchase, but then we had a group of people that would help us pick it all up from the store and bring it here and carry it downstairs. And then we had another group of people that would come and help us pack all of the stuff up. And then the youth took over packing up all of the stuff, which was amazing.
That saved a lot of time
It did save
for
a
the
lot
rest
of
of
time.
us, didn't it? Yeah.
And then just when doors open, we have volunteers here who are just here to pray with people and give them cookies and coffee and just be a kind person, because we wanted to do more than just give them something that they needed. We wanted to not only fill their pantry with items that they needed,
Right.
but maybe fill their soul a bit with a bit of God's love.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, and probably too, and you guys have noticed it because you've been in this for years. But down in the waiting area before they go through line to pick out and get what they need, you got a lot of people that are in need in the same room together, and I'm sure they have a lot of discussions, and it kind of makes them feel part of a, you don't feel like you're singled out from society. There's a lot of people in the same situation, and I
Right.
think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
And you often see a lot of people kind of excited to be here on a Saturday to see people
Right.
that they haven't seen for a month, and there's a lot of good talk and just, fellowship down in that room.
yeah. So you guys, we'll talk about it in another mission moment. There's somebody else has kind of taken over the lead on this, but so many people in the church are still involved in this. You guys are still involved to a degree. I know you are, and I am as well. So it goes on, and this could be here for quite some time.
Yeah, we definitely hope that it will be, and it's definitely going through a bit of a change right now because of the pandemic, but very glad to say it is still open every single month. And, I think, again, talking about the people that you serve, I mean, you get folks who absolutely come up and just thank you that this helped them get through that particular month. It just means so much to them, and you get a lot of shed tears and stuff, too, from the folks that come through there. But it also, too, I just want to mention also the folks that have been volunteering. I mean, we have some folks that, can come periodically. We have some that are just dedicated being there every single month. And it means a lot to the volunteers, too. I think in a lot of cases, volunteers get as much out of it as some of the folks that we're helping for very different reasons.
Right.
But it's amazing to see just the community of the folks that come together for it. And one of the things, I'm a natural worrier, and every time when we would plan Paper Pantry, I was always worried about if we'd have enough volunteers, and never once did we fall short of what we needed.
Yeah.
And
We always get it done, right?
always. There's never been a single time that we couldn't because of lack of volunteers.
There were a couple close calls.
Some very
but
close calls.
We always made it.
Always
made it. And we've actually had times when we had almost more volunteers than we needed, which is great too.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, that's a great problem to have. And we had different groups from different organizations come in every now and then. Usually youth that will come in and get involved, and I think that's kind of an up thing for them too, to see what's going on out there in the world.
Absolutely. And we've also had before the Gideons have visited and handed out Bibles, and it's amazing what that means to the folks too. And we also too, we didn't mention, but we get a lot of donations of books, and it's
that's
really important for the guests too. Like, they just enjoy going through there, picking out some selections, and so you're not just leaving with some household items too, but the kids are leaving with children's books, and adults are finding some good things there too.
Okay, that's awesome. Anything you guys would like to add that we haven't thought of?
Well, if we haven't already mentioned, paper towels are a particular need right now. So if you're at the store and you see some paper towels,
Please
grab a few.
pick up whatever they'll let you
Yeah,
buy
exactly.
at the checkout.
And laundry soap also. And this is the jug that you can get at the Dollar Tree. It's $1, and it's the perfect size for the pack. So next time you're at the Dollar Tree, I bought, I think, 60 one time at a time, and they didn't stop me.
And they didn't stop you?
They just let me keep buying it.
Well,
So-
that's all right.
so
I think that store likes you guys, because we've done a lot of business for them.
I don't know that they really knew who I was, but they
But-
knew I had $60 and was willing to buy 60,
Well,
and they were fine with it.
The numbers
So-
at the end of the day look pretty good for
That's
them,
right,
though.
that's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, fantastic. The Paper Pantry, and that's the second Saturday of every month at Grace United Methodist Church.
Yes.
That's it.
All right, fantastic. So I want to thank you, Jodi, my favorite daughter-in-law, and Matthew, my favorite son. I only have one of each, but they'd be my favorite anyway. And I'm Bruce Kayser, Grace United Methodist Church, a mission moment. We're glad you could be here and listen.